Good morning, guys. What is up? Today is Monday, June 5th, and it is peak week, so I am 5 days out, as you probably already know. So I decided I kind of want to do daily vlogs for you guys, just to keep you guys updated, and because I think everybody always has questions about peak week, because everybody kind of just keeps it on the down low and like doesn't really say anything. They keep it so private, so I kind of wanted to be open with you guys and let you know how my week is going. I'll try and give you day by day plays of what I'm doing with food, water, sodium, my meals, stuff like that. But in training, anyways, I just wanted to say good morning, and today is day 1 of depletion. So how this peak week is looking is from Monday to Wednesday we are depleting. Thursday is my carb up. Friday is kind of like a maintenance day, and then Saturday is show day. I will be heading down to Guelph on the Friday, and the show day is on Saturday, like I said. But other than that, so today, like I said, is my first depletion day. So in regards to training, we are increasing the reps, so between 20 and 25 reps. We are also doing more sets, so between 4 and 5 sets instead of just 4 sets. We want to increase the overall volume and kind of deplete my muscles to prepare for the carb load on Thursday. The point of a depletion is to deplete your body of glycogen, so when you do have your refeed or your carb up day, your body's ready for it, and it's going to absorb all those carbs into the muscle because you are so depleted. So that is the purpose of depleting these next 3 days. Over the course of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will be dropping carbs and fats every single day, but that'll also set me up for the depletion. I will be doing cardio, my normal cardio, from today until Wednesday. Thursday there's no training, and Friday it's more of a pump up. It's more of like a complete body circuit just to get the carbs shuttled into the muscles where we want them. And yeah, Thursday will be my last day of work. Tomorrow I actually have a photo shoot in Mississauga, so I'm very excited for that, and I will take you guys with me. But other than that, I'll try and give more details as I go through. Today I'm at moderate water, so water stays pretty consistent throughout the week. We don't cut water. I'm actually drinking the most water on the Friday, the day before the show, but today I have 5 liters of water. So from tomorrow and Wednesday it'll be 6 liters, and then on the Thursday and Friday it'll be 6 to 8 liters. So we're slowly like increasing water as we're going into the show, and we don't cut water completely. So nothing new here. You guys know how I start every day. I take one of my probiotics. I like this Progressive brand full spectrum HCP 30 because it is all human strains. Like, there's no lactose, no dairy, so this works well for me. Then I take my 2-ounce shot of apple cider vinegar, and then I have my coffee. I also take 2 Carnitine. This is L-carnitine, so it's going to help you sweat, it's going to help you burn fat and shrink fat cells. And then, since I am in peak week, I'm starting to take Drip Dry. And Drip Dry is a natural diuretic. It contains dandelion, horsetail, juniper berry, as well as some caffeine. So it's just a blend of natural herbs that's going to help diurese you. I started taking this about 5 days out. This will actually be my first time using the Magnum Drip Dry, so I'm excited to see what it can do. But it says to take 3 caps in the morning and then 3 in the afternoon, so I just took 3 now. So meal 1, I have 3 butter popcorn rice cakes with coconut oil. And then I'm going to do 1 butter popcorn rice cake with a tablespoon of this jam, double fruit jam. It's low carb, only 5 carb per tablespoon, and there's no sucralose. I'm going to have my fish and then some zucchini, and that'll be my pre-workout meal. I don't like a heavy meal before I work out. I don't like feeling really full. I don't like having oats because oats pre-workout, they just make me really tired and lethargic. So I like something that's lighter and fast digesting to give me my energy for my workout, because I eat on my way to the gym, so I need something that's going to digest quickly. what is peak week? So peak week is the week that leads up to your show. So the point of peak week is to fine tune your body and to make final adjustments so you can come in your best on show day. Now, a lot of people have the misconception that peak week is some magical week where you're going to lose 5 pounds, you're going to become this incredible shredded human that you weren't 2 weeks ago, and that magical things happen. And guys, that is not the case. So I don't know why it's so hyped up and that peak week is this crazy insane week, but honestly all it is, it's tiny manipulations to your body to properly bring you into the show, whether that be a depletion and then a load, or maybe you're just going to stroll into the show doing what you're doing. Everybody's different, but it's just the week leading up to your show. So if you're not lean before peak week, you're not going to lose like 10 pounds of fat magically. If you're not ready before peak week, manipulating salt, water, carbs, carb load, depletion, all this stuff, it's not going to work for you because you're simply not ready before your show. And this is something that I've learned personally, and you learn as you go. Every show is an experience, and you learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you, different things you do, or you try and manipulate during peak week. Every peak week, it's always trial and error. So this will be my first peak week working with Sean, and we're doing something that I've never actually done before, so I'm really excited. I've done about 14 shows, as I've said before. This will be my 15th show, and I can't say I've ever properly peaked for my show. Why? I don't know. Maybe I've worked with numerous coaches. We've tried different things. Maybe I wasn't lean enough going into the show, or maybe I was depleting too much. I don't know why I never peaked properly, but it's a very fine art almost. You can look at it 2 ways. It's either a really fine art and it's challenging to come and peak at the right time, or you can look at it as you're either ready or you're not ready and you should just stroll into the show. So I'm at a place right now where I feel good. I'm excited to get on stage, and I feel like these fine tunes that we're doing this week will just it'll just be the icing on top of the cake basically. It's just gonna, like I said, fine tune my body so we can bring my best, my fullest, my tightest package come Saturday. So as I mentioned earlier, between Monday and Wednesday we will be depleting, and then Thursday is my load. Friday is like a moderate day, kind of like to taper off, and then Saturday is show day, and that's just like fine-tuning little adjustments. But we're not expecting to like load on Saturday. We're loading before the show to be ready for the show on Saturday. So during peak week, my food sources don't change. I'm not adding anything that I haven't eaten before. I'm not taking away foods that I've been eating this whole time. I'm keeping everything the same. I'm eating the same foods, and all that's changing is the amounts that I'm eating. So the portion sizes and just the water, as I mentioned earlier. My carbs, my main sources for carbs right now are rice cakes, oats, sweet potatoes, and zucchini. I like to cut out vegetables on the Wednesday, Thursday, like midday Wednesday, just to help kind of empty the body. I feel like I do eat a lot of vegetables. Like I like voluminous food, so I feel like I protrude more just because there is more fiber and it's just more full. Like your body is just fuller, like your intestines have more volume in them because you're eating more vegetables, right? So when I cut out the veg, I tend to like decrease the rest of my bloat, and my body just kind of settles a bit because there's not as much fiber. So I will cut that out midday Wednesday. And then for my protein sources, I'm going to stick to my fish and my ground turkey leading up to the show day. And then for my fats, my main source of fat is basically coconut oil. But on my low day, we are adding sugars, simple sugars. So on my low day, this is the only day that I will incorporate new foods, and they're not new because I do eat them if I was having like a cheat meal, or they're just foods I would normally eat. But just these last few weeks, I've been eating a more clean diet, just so that everything has been consistent and I know how my body's going to react to what, basically. Personally, I like consistency, and I like knowing how my body's going to respond to something. So by keeping the last few weeks pretty clean and not really having much sugar or much processed foods, I'm able to respond better when I do have those sugary foods. because my body's not really used to it. So that's kind of my game plan there. If I wasn't like 2 weeks out or a month out, I would still be more like flexible and be eating more sugary things, because I do believe in flexible dieting. My coach may not agree with that, but I do believe in flexible dieting. But even though I do believe in flexible dieting, I still eat the same thing every day, as I've said before, just because it's easier to track, it's easier to meal prep, it's easier to see what's working for your body, what's not working for your body, what your body's responding to. And you guys know I'm just big on consistency. So with that said, my carb sources I told you, my protein I told you, my fats is basically coconut oil at this point. But on my low day, I will be adding in Nutella on some rice cakes and some Reese peanut butter cups. I think that's the only thing I will add, and also cream of rice. But I have had cream of rice here and there, but I think I will choose cream of rice versus oats, just because they are easier to digest, and the low day is very high carb compared to, well, not compared to what I'm used to, but it's just a very high carb day, and I want my digestion to be at its prime. So by choosing foods that are going to digest easily and that my body's not going to be working overtime to digest, that'll keep the food going, and it'll just make the load that much easier on my body. So I will probably choose cream of rice over oats, just because oats are harder to digest by the body. So on the low day on Thursday, we plan on bringing protein down, carbs are up, and fats are pretty moderate. And then the Friday, like I said, it's more of a maintenance day, so basically back to my baseline macros. And then Saturday, it's meals as needed, and it's just as you go, basically. So that's the plan leading up to the show. But I just wanted to say that peak week is not some magical week. Everything stays the same. Personally, I don't change my food sources. Like I said, consistency is key. I know there's a lot of people, like I'm sure you see them on YouTube all the time or on Instagram, whatever. They're eating like different things every day. They're eating like yogurts and like protein bars and this and that, but that works for them, but that doesn't work for me. Like I said, my digestive system is sensitive, so I don't react well to like protein powders or to dairy at all. Like, I'm lactose intolerant, and my body does not respond to dairy well. I just get very inflamed, so I don't eat any dairy. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out, because I know a lot of people just eat like all these awesome, amazing meals, and they're just so creative. And then there's me who eats like a baggie of fish and a sweet potato, because I'm that basic. But that's what works for me, and I don't mind it. I love the food I eat. And so yeah, like, you just have to do what works best for you, and that's what works best for me. I also wanted to say that I don't cut out stevia leading up to the show, and I keep my BCAAs and my glutamine in all the way up until the show. At this point, your body's used to those things, and when you take those away, I feel like it affects your body in a negative way. I've experimented with that before. I've tried taking out BCAAs like 2 weeks prior to my show, just because there was some artificial sweetener in it, and my body, like, I was just so flat. It was like, I felt like I was flat in that I lost muscle, because I feel like the BCAAs were helping me maintain my lean muscle mass. So I learned that I would never cut that again, because my body's used to those BCAAs, and it relies on them basically. So I'm not cutting that out. And the amount that I use, I only use 1 scoop a day, so the amount of artificial sweetener is very low, and there's not much sucralose in the BCAAs that I do use. Some coaches will recommend cutting out artificial sweeteners a week or 2 weeks before your show. But like I said, I don't consume artificial sweeteners besides my BCAAs. I only use stevia. I don't drink like Monsters, or I don't drink any like Diet Pop. I don't do anything like that. I don't chew gum. I just don't do a lot of artificial things. So there's no reason for me to cut them out, because I don't even consume them. I hope that wasn't too lengthy and too much of a rant, but it kind of just gives you an idea of what some people may do during their peak week. And my main point to the story is that peak week is not some magical week. So, because I remember I was there at one point, I was probably 15 pounds over stage weight, going into peak week thinking that this 15 pounds is magically just gonna melt off my body. And then that last week I pushed even harder than I should have. I had a weird coach at the time. Like, I don't even know who these people were, but I didn't do cardio at all my whole prep. And then the last week, peak week, they had me doing like 2 hours of cardio a day. Like, why would you do that? Like, my body's not used to that. That's just going to cause inflammation, which you're trying to decrease during peak week. It was just a mess. So, like I said, lessons learned. You learn with every show. The point of peak week is to deplete a little bit, and then you want to load your body so you're nice and hard and tight and full. And then towards the end of the week, when you are feeding yourself, and usually you decrease your activity a bit, so you might decrease your cardio, you might decrease your training a little bit, more of a pump-up style, because you're trying to let your body rest. You want to come in your best, and when you're constantly beating your body with these intense cardio sessions and intense training, it's causing inflammation, which is going to blur your lines on your body and make you hold water. So towards the last half of the week is more like a rest and a feed, so your body can come in prime for Saturday. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope this helps somebody who might be doing their first show. Okay, we'll see you guys in the next clip. Thanks for watching.